What's up, YouTube? This is another video of my black IMG boa constrictor. I just moved her into a larger home. She's doing well. She's beautiful as ever. Every time I open up her enclosure, I'm always amazed with the way this animal looks. Just incredible. Looks like she's retaining a little bit of her pattern. I should stop and say, like, you see in here the iridescence. You get some of that blues going on. That's just something you really can't capture a lot of the time on cameras. So I'm glad to be able to share that with you there. I try to pick her up. She's probably a little squiggly. There we go. And this is a 2020 IMG, so she's about a year old and just black as can be. Beautiful animal. Checking out everything that's going on around her right now. I just pulled her out of her rack and I got her underneath this bright light, so it's probably like, what the heck are you doing to me? Really like these tail markings. Oh, where are you going? I really hope she does retain some of these white tail markings as she gets darker and darker. That's just a great touch. And I will be looking to pair her with a male at some point in the future, but I mean, I'm just learning about boas myself, so if I learned anything from breeding ball pythons, when I first started, I just, you're buying everything you think looks pretty. And then down the line, it's like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't the greatest idea. Like, my advice to anybody who's looking to breed, just starting out, is, take your time and see what's out there. Like, there's a whole world full of amazing snakes. And if you're just gonna impulse buy whatever you see the first time, like, you're cheating yourself. Another thing too, I never would have just gone out and bought a $1,500 animal when I started. I mean, I didn't have the money to, and that's what I paid for this, $1,500 US, $1,500 US. But at the same time, I was buying animals that were $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, and like, you make a few of those purchases, and you pretty much have spent the same amount of money on less remarkable animals versus just planning, saving, and purchasing an animal like this, which, it seems like it's a lot more money than maybe you'd want to spend on an animal. But in the long run, you end up with a high-end, beautiful creature that will probably produce and maybe even create financial returns for you. So I guess that's my take for the day right there. I know a long time I was like, oh, I'm not going to spend more than X amount on a snake because it's a snake. That's just your basic financial thinking right there. Like, no, that's crazy. And of course, you have a lot of other people around you going, oh God, you have snakes? Like, how much did you spend on that? And don't listen to those people. I mean, obviously, if it's your significant other, listen to them and have a conversation. But if someone has only known you've had snakes for 5 minutes and they're trying to tell you what to do with your money, just don't listen to those people. I'm very happy I picked this animal up. Zero regrets on this. I mean, look at that, wow. I wish she could talk. Be more interested in what she has to say than me rambling on a Sunday evening. So I'm feeding her a lot less than I would think a snake needs to be fed. And I will tell you why. Well, so this is a CB70 I just put her in, so she's pretty long and lean. I have another snake, a albino cow that's over here. Those are giant kitty litter boxes that I use for his hides. He's huge. You know, that was my first boa constrictor, and the person I bought the snake off was like, oh, you know, the greatest thing about this is they're basically garbage disposals. You know, any snake that doesn't, if you have any leftover rats, you can just throw it in there and eat it. And that's what I did for a while. Like, I ended up just overfeeding the boa. And as a result, instead of having a beautiful adult trophy animal, I have a great looking cow albino, but he has a ton of loose skin because he was overweight, and I needed to cut down his feeding and make him more healthy. And so you don't end up with a trophy animal by overfeeding. You know, those first few years when it's growing and it's huge, it's amazing. That's all wonderful, but you know, at the end of the day, it's, hey, I shouldn't have done that. So with this animal, I'm only feeding her large mice and rat pups every 10 to 14 days. I think she's really holding on to a great physique. And she will get big someday. It's just a matter of patience. You know, I'm not in a rush to have a giant snake, which is something that, you know, when you first start collecting animals, it's like, oh, hey, I want to have a giant snake. Like, it's fun to see them grow. But if it's detrimental to their health, you know, you're not doing yourself or that animal a service. So take it easy on the feeding is my advice there. Well, like I said, I just put her in this CB70. She was in a smaller, I don't even know what those things are called, VE73s or whatever. I don't even know, 23 quart or something like that. I just felt like she needed a lot more room to stretch out. And as usual, when you move an animal into a new enclosure, it's like, oh, yeah, they were ready for it. Nice to be able to see her stretch out and move around. This also is a very calm animal. I've heard a lot of people talking about, like, you know, boa constrictors get old, you can't even pick them up. Both my boas are very calm. I feel like that probably comes down to a lot more about just having the correct temperatures in the room. They're not stressed out. It's a good shot of her eyes right there, huh? You tell she's not a black devil because she does not have black eyes. An IMG het, Ralph Davis reptiles, black-eyed anery. All right, well, hopefully you've heard enough of me talking and got a good amount of this IMG boa. Hope everybody has a happy new year, and thank you for watching the video. And hey, slap the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. My daughter's asking me why I only have 5 subscribers. I'm like, I don't know. But she wants to see bigger numbers. So for my daughter's sake, hit the subscribe button, and of course, support US ARC. More and more attacks every day on our hobby, and they're out there fighting to make sure that we can continue keeping these beautiful animals. All right, everyone, thank you for watching, and have a happy new year.